Welcome back to Smart Money on CNBC TV 18. We're celebrating Mother's Day, which is this weekend, and we're trying to talk about how mothers should get into financial planning for several reasons, right? Women take all the decisions these days in the house. May not be financial, but now if you are, properly equipped, you can take financial decisions as well. Vivek Bajaj, co-founder StockEdge and eLearn Markets, is with us to talk about that. Vivek, there are a lot of future goals that women have, right? A primary goal, I think, as a mother would be to educate your child, and then, of course, planning for their, other expenses like marriage, etc. But education is the first thing. So let's discuss key saving strategies and some investment options as well.
Yes, when we are talking about education, maybe the real expenditure will start after 18, 19-year-old, when you start thinking about getting them into graduate college. And if someone has high aspiration, would like for a foreign destination. Now, the inflation at a education level is obviously there. So what will cost today and after 20 years, obviously the 20 years cost will be much, much higher. So how do you plan that? Financial instrument. You need to park money in a right financial instrument, which will lead to that 20 years henceforth, whatever you need, a big chunk of money. Now, what kind of financial asset will be there? So you're talking about 20-year investment, and we cannot think about that today I invest for 20 years. It has to be a recurring process. So SIP, I think it's the blessing instrument, which the concept has been introduced to all of us, that constant SIP with that goal of that specific education. The beauty of goal-oriented financial planning is that you can map individual financial assets with that specific goal. So at the age of 20, this much asset, I will do SIP in these 4 instruments. At the age of, say, 30, the kid getting married, I need to plan, I can invest in that kind of an asset. And both the assets, maybe equity, maybe debt, but the composition or the quality of asset should be very, very different. I'll give you an example. And when I'm thinking of 30 years investment, I will invest in stocks. I'm talking about stocks because I truly believe that stock has potential to give you much better return. If you're thinking of 30 years, the quality of stocks I'll invest will be, say, I'll give you an example called mother stocks, which is a classic concept which I follow for my kids, where what I've done is I've identified 10 mother companies, which are mother. These companies have kids, which are good. At the same time, these mother companies are good in their own way. For example, Reliance, State Bank of India, SDFC, ICICI Bank. Now, these are the companies which are itself companies who are doing great in their business, and they have kids or subsidiaries who are also doing good. Now, these companies will not vanish, right? These companies will stay, because if India's story is there, these companies will also be there. So I've identified 10 such companies, and I'm doing regular SIP, and those are linked to my kids' future. Now, future, some would be an education, some will be for marriage, and some will be for their business pursuits. So basically, you have to identify right asset mix.
That is a great strategy, and I wish all of our parents had done that, right? 30, 40 years ago, they'd bought, if they'd done the same strategy of SIP in Reliance, Infosys, TCS and all of that, I mean, we wouldn't have to work a single day, but that's not the point. The point is also safeguarding your children's education as well as their future. But you spoke about educating your children abroad. Now, that's a very big hot topic because of the way the rupee is depreciating compared to other currencies. So what do you do? Do you just stick with buying, domestic-oriented stocks and equity, or do you also hedge, yourself in some way because of the way the rupee is going? Like, how do you manage that?
Funny thing is, a lot of people want us to invest in US market because of the dollar play. Whereas I tell them that, do you know how much return gold has given in last 5 years? 13% return. And a lot of contribution of that 13% return has come from rupee depreciation. And Nifty has given us almost 13% return in last 5 years. So no one knew it. I mean, people, yes, we know that gold investment karna chahiye because that's how we have been built. But from a return perspective, gold is not a low return generating instrument. So a good mix of gold, equity, and if you still want to invest in dollar terms, you can use Indian mutual funds who are investing in global assets like Nasdaq 100 ETF, or you can invest in funds who have a 25 to 30% exposure in global equities. But do I invest directly in equity, at least for The masses, I will not recommend. Yes, classes, people who have a lot of money, they're anyways doing it because they have some SPV outside India which they're using for global investments.
Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk about is saving for your retirement, right? And that's important because, I mean, in your own document, you were mentioning that women are 80%, 80% of women are generally, more than men, are likely to be impoverished during retirement. And that speaks a lot because women, some of the women who are mothers are generally, a lot of them are stay-at-home moms. So they don't really have the kind of income, right? So at the time of retirement, the husband or the man or the spouse may still be well equipped to manage his retirement expenses, but the women may not be. So how do you safeguard that?
Actually, retirement is much, much tougher for a woman, especially, medically. There are so many challenges, and I myself experienced it that my mom is old and now she is facing so many issues, and she never thought. Typically, Indian mom has this habit of ki main theek hoon. This is what Indian mom has structurally been built. And whenever we are talking about ourselves, she will be like ki theek ho jayega. So problem is that the mom has never been sensitized to the need of a much better capital for her future because her medical situation will definitely be much more tougher than my father or probably for all of us. So I don't know how to sensitize them. I mean, probably these are the platforms where we can reach to all the mothers and say that, listen, your body is complicated and it will take a lot of toll on your body in future. So you better. And you have
so
not
that's
touched
where
one
health
important
insurance
point.
comes in question, right? I mean, health insurance or medical insurance, even term insurance for that matter. I mean, a lot of us don't think about it, but term insurance is the most important thing if you have a dependent spouse who is the mother of your children, for example. So tell us a little bit about that before we end.
Term insurance is the most amazing thing which everyone should do. And it's not just about investing, right? It's about the social comfort you give to the lady. And there are term insurance where you get specialized, I don't exactly want to name few, but there are few where you can actually get some special features for women. For example, some term insurance will add the medical part also so that anything which happens in future
Do you want to give us a few examples so that our viewers can benefit from it?
Like, if I remember correctly, I've taken one. There is an ICICI Prudential term insurance policy where there is an attachment of medical also of the lady. So it's a term insurance for me, but there is also an add-on medical comfort for the lady. So one needs to do that homework. I'm not an insurance expert, very honestly. I'm a stock market guy.
Sure.
But all I can tell you that yes, insurance is very crucial as mental comfort for the future of the lady.
Okay, this was a very helpful discussion, and unfortunately we've run out of time, but we will take this take this topic up again at another day. Thanks a lot, Vivek, for joining us and speaking to CNBC TV 18. Appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you so much. Pleasure, man.
Okay, and with that, it is a wrap. To all you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day, and hope you continue to invest wisely and build a future not just for yourself, but for your family. Thanks for watching.